The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN Friday morning, 8:30 a.m., 60 minutes to go until the opening bell. We got markets starting off in negative territory for Friday. Right now, you got the Dow futures negative 148, trading 28,643. S&P futures negative by 15, trading at 3274. NASDAQ futures negative by 35 points, trading at 9181. We've got oil up a bit, up 28 cents at 52.42, and the 10-year yield sitting at 1.55%. The coronavirus, the death toll now to 213 people. The infected number up to almost 10,000. Those fears continue to persist. World Health Organization declaring an emergency yesterday. And we got earnings in a big way. We'll jump over the biggest of them all. Amazon last night crushing it out of the park, up more than 10% today, becoming a trillion-dollar company, beating across the board, really delivering on earnings as they spend money for the holiday season, for single-day delivery, same-day delivery, and boy, oh boy, they did it while making a boat full of money. We'll start things off with the charts. We'll jump over to the indices. We'll start it off with the S&P. There's your chart this morning, 3276. Last night, overnight, we were trading at around 3294. You trade to a low in the S&Ps of 3265 at about 5:30 a.m. From there, we spiked to about 3280, currently trading 3276. You see the run up yesterday, quite a charge higher from where we were in negative territory at about 1 p.m. Eastern time at 3244. You finished the day in positive territory on all the indices at about 3290 in the S&P. NASDAQ 100 trading at 91.89. You back things up for the run yesterday. Check that out. There's your acceleration on the Amazon earnings right at the closing bell. The NASDAQ 100 trades from about 91.43, and in a heartbeat, you're trading at 92.13. We've paired some of those gains to 91.89. Dow 30, 28,667. You see the run up yesterday from about 1 p.m. Eastern time of 28,467. I mean, you're talking about a solid 400 Dow points that we charge higher. Crude oil market, $52.37. Much the same. Yesterday, you trade from about 51.83. Overnight, we make it to as high as 53.33. We've backed off about $1 from that price level to 52.38. There's your gold contract. Gold trading inverse with the market. You see the fall off on gold yesterday from about 15.90. Overnight, you almost make it down to 15.75. Gold trading at 15.84.55. And the euro US dollar 110.51. We talked about it. Amazon earnings, the biggest of them all, and here they are. We'll get into the real numbers. There is the mammoth beat that the street did not expect. Earnings per share, they were looking for $4.03. They ended up taking in $6.47 per share. The market knew that they were going to be spending money on same-day delivery, but they weren't sure how much that was going to eat into their profits, and boy, oh boy, did they deliver. Revenue, they beat as well, $87.44 billion versus an expectation of $86.02. Amazon Web Services delivering as well in the face of competition coming from the likes of Microsoft's Azure and Google's cloud as well. Amazon still beating expectations. Their revenue on web services, $9.95 billion. The expectation, 9.81. Revenue growing at 21% year over year for the quarter, $87.4 billion, which indicates the company's investments in speedier shipping are leading to more purchases. As a shopper on Amazon myself, I would agree. You can't beat same-day delivery. The company also gave upbeat guidance for the first quarter, saying it now expects to report revenue between $69 and $73 billion, their CFO said. That the company doesn't, quote, have any visibility on whether coronavirus will impact its first quarter results. And of course, they get into how many companies may have commented on that. In the earnings release, Jeff Bezos said more people joined Prime this quarter than ever before, and the company now counts more than 150 million paid Prime members around the world. I being one of those 150 million. Amazon last gave an update on Prime subscribers in April of 2018, saying it had more than 100 million. I mean, just remarkable growth. You're talking about just under 2 years, 50% growth on their Prime members. And if you're a Prime member, you are spending a lot of money. And there is your revenue growth on a graphical basis, just remarkable. As expected, Amazon's worldwide shipping cost increased significantly during the quarter, climbing 43% year over year to $12.9 billion. The company said its last earnings report in October that it would spend $1.5 billion during the holiday shipping season to expand one day or same day. On the earnings call, they said costs associated with rolling out the program came in slightly under that $1.5 billion during the quarter, and Amazon would spend $1 billion more on the initiative in the first quarter and again in the second. It seems like that's paying off for them. $1 billion here, $1 billion there, not a big deal when you're taking in almost $90 billion in 90 days. And check out that chart. I had to check my ears when I heard the earnings report last night. Amazon closed at $18.70. And you traded up to $21.33, currently trading at about $2,078. They're becoming a $1 trillion company when the market opens this morning. I believe the number that puts them at $1 trillion is just above 2,050. And it's just remarkable when you think about more than $200. This stock is going to open to the upside. Bezos himself going to make probably about $13 billion on those shares. Just a remarkable feat as he looks to the future. What else we have? It is still earnings season on a number of fronts. You have IBM coming out with their numbers, and their CEO stepping down. And a new CEO, Arvind Krishna, is going to take over. Ginny Rometty has been the executive chairman, president, and CEO since 2012. Rometty has been at IBM for almost 4 decades. The next one has been there for 3 decades. IBM shares positive on that news Thursday. This is after the bell yesterday that they announced it. Whitehurst, Red Hat's former CEO, is going to become IBM's president. So really that Red Hat transition, that acquisition that they had for $34 billion really coming into the limelight. Rometty, who is 62, had been there since 2012. Her official biography on IBM's website credits her with leading the successful integration of PricewaterhouseCoopers Consulting and creating a global team of more than 100,000 business consultants. Under Rometty, IBM made cloud services a bigger priority and exited some businesses, including the low-end server unit sold to Lenovo. During her tenure, IBM stock, though, has fallen about 26%. That's remarkable when you think the S&P has grown 160%. IBM, you almost could say they were positioned well to take advantage of the cloud computing craze, but check it out. Yesterday closed at 136.77. This morning looking to open about 142.20. Jumping around as well, we also have Exxon earnings this morning. Fourth quarter earnings falling short of expectations. The numbers, 41 cents versus 43 cents. Revenue, 67 versus 64. So they beat on revenue. Upstream income, they missed 2.19 versus 2.14. And to see how Exxon is trading on that news, XOM closed yesterday at 64, actually spiked higher, but pulling back a bit this morning, currently trading 63.70. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be coming back with more news. We have more earnings this morning. Some of the gas companies will check in on Tesla as well. We'll be right back.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the Tax Opportunity Zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Markets in negative territory. S&P negative by 12 right now. NASDAQ futures negative by 25. Dow futures negative by 124. Quite a charge higher in the markets to finish yesterday. We'll jump over to the VIX. You see the spike lower as the markets accelerated higher yesterday. The VIX almost made it down to a low of 15. This morning, a little bit of elevated action, rised above 1750 on the lows of the market as we've come back a bit from those lows, currently trading at 1686. Jumping around to other stocks making moves this morning, Caterpillar's 2020 outlook adds more gloom to virus-shaken markets. So profit for 2020 will be in the range of $8.50 to $10 a share, the company said. Analysts have been looking for $10.55 per share in the fourth quarter. The company citing strong cost control as helping to offset demand issues. Shares of Caterpillar are a bit lower this morning. We'll jump over to that in a moment. We expect continued global economic uncertainty to pressure sales to users in 2020 and cause dealers to further reduce inventories. Their CEO, Jim Umpleby, said in a statement. The statement was released before the start of regular trading as Caterpillar. We'll jump over to their shares this morning, CAT. You see the spike in both directions, up to 140, down to 131.05. Gotta love the Thinkorswim platform. You can see right when the conference call begins, which was 8:30 as this show began. Their numbers actually coming in. The estimate, 240, delivered at 263, but when they're talking about outlook, not exactly what the market was looking for, looking to open about $2 in the red. And jumping over to the coronavirus, we mentioned it at the top of the program. Those numbers now up to 213, giving you some updates of where we are. Russia reporting its first 2 cases of the coronavirus, and all of these times updated in Beijing time. So these are pretty recent updates as they come right now. Russia reports first 2 cases of the coronavirus. Russia's deputy minister told reporters on Friday the country had confirmed its first 2 cases. The 2 people contracted the virus were Chinese citizens who had been isolated before adding all flights to China from Russia would be halted from 5 a.m. Beijing time on Saturday. Singapore bans Chinese travelers. Singapore locking their borders down somewhat. Chinese ambassador says confirmed cases now above 9,800. 9,809, up from the 9,692 reported earlier in the day. Italy reportedly set to declare coronavirus emergency themselves. You have Britain with their first 2 cases. And Mongolia closing all ports from China, as well as the latest airline suspending flights, Air France, until February 9th. And you know what strikes me here, Mongolia closing all ports until March 2nd. So they're really locking things down for what's at least a month at this point. The latest on airlines suspending China flights, you have, these are the airlines which have suspended all flights to China amid the outbreak. Air France, February 9th. British Airways, Air Seoul, Egypt Air, Lion, I mean, it's basically all of them. Kenya, Vietjet, airlines which suspended some flights. Singapore, I mean, you can read, American Airlines suspended flights from LA to Beijing and Shanghai from February 9th to March 27th. You're talking about 2 full months. This is going to persist, and I don't see this going away anytime soon, as the number is already up to 10,213 dead. Couple people here and there across a variety of countries. Shanghai now imposing face mask purchase limits to try and clamp down on some of those who are hoarding, you could say, some of the masks. So they're buying 5 at a time now, its limit. And China sends chartered planes to bring home Hubei residents from overseas. Other news out there, we jumped to Caterpillar, we jumped to Exxon. Some of the stocks making moves this morning. We got a lot of action. We covered Caterpillar, 263 versus 237. Navistar, the truck maker, received an unsolicited buyout offer from Volkswagen's commercial truck unit, Traton, for part of the Navistar it doesn't own. The offer amounts to $35 a share at $2.9 billion. That closed yesterday at $24.07. We took a look at ExxonMobil already, 41 cents a share, 2 cents below the estimates. Honeywell we'll jump to right now. The industrial conglomerate beat estimates by 2 cents with adjusted quarterly profit of $2.06 a share, but revenue shy of forecast. Honeywell also gave a weaker than expected revenue guidance, saying the 737 MAX production halt will hurt growth. Honeywell makes a variety of the components for that plane. Jumping over to Honeywell, HON, check out that spike. So it accelerates higher with the market yesterday on renewed optimism that maybe the World Health Organization declaring an emergency, that there'd be greater attention paid to the coronavirus, spikes higher, but all of that taken out in a heartbeat as they come out before the earnings. 206 versus 206, the conference call beginning at 8:10 this morning, looking to open at about 174.50. Other stocks out there, Colgate-Palmolive with their earnings this morning. The consumer products company matched the street forecast with adjusted quarterly earnings, 73 cents a share, with revenue beating estimates. Colgate, whoops, we just jumped back to the top. We'll get there. Where are we? There we go. Colgate did see a 5% jump in organic sales during the quarter and expects an organic sales growth between 3 and 5%. And to jump over there, CL, Colgate-Palmolive, quite an acceleration. Closed yesterday at $69.47, opening this morning at around $73.25. IBM we covered with their CEO stepping down in April after 8 years on the job. Amgen reported adjusted quarterly profit $3.64 a share, 17 cents above consensus forecast. The biotech company's revenue also beating estimates. However, Amgen gave a weaker than expected full-year forecast due to lower interest income and its recently acquired stake in China's Beijing, which is currently unprofitable. Pulling up Amgen chart this morning, you see the spike lower, closed at 226, made it to a low of 217.90, coming out with their earnings right after the bell last night. Conference call at around 5 p.m. Eastern time, looking to open about $6 lower at 220. Electronic Arts reported adjusted quarterly profit of $2.52 a share, a penny above estimates, with revenue essentially in line. However, the video game maker gave a weaker than expected current quarter revenue forecast, in part due to a delayed launch of NBA Live. Pulling up their chart, EA. You see the spike lower last night, but looks like that conference call, whatever they had to say, renewed some optimism. You had EA spiking to 103.50. Conference call began at 5 p.m. last night. We're now up to about 110, only $1.64 below where we closed at yesterday. And Visa matching street forecast with quarterly earnings of $1.46 a share, but the payment network's operators' revenue came in below estimates. Visa also saw a 14% increase in operating expenses during the quarter as it spends more on rewards and incentives for cardholders. Visa, you see the acceleration lower. Quite a charge higher with the market yesterday to 209.53. Visa actually spikes to a low of about 200 last night, up a bit at 202.77, looking for the open this morning. Jumping around to some of the other biggest stocks out there, we'll check in on Tesla. Holding steady after their earnings. I mean, it's just remarkable the acceleration they had on their earnings and just not waning at all. Up to 659.80 initially, from closing at about 580 prior to their earnings on Wednesday night. You have Amazon just holding steady, Amazon, two of the giants. Tesla holding steady at about 641. Checking in on some of the other tech stocks. Big week of tech earnings this week. You see the spike on Apple, up to 327 on their earnings Tuesday after the bell. Apple at 321.90. Microsoft also with their earnings this week, spiked to 176.20, paired some of those gains back to 171.98. And Facebook had a tough day yesterday, looking to open at about 209.53, pretty close 208.80 to where we closed. We'll be right back, folks, to finish up the program. Stay tuned.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Hanging out in negative territory, pretty much where we've been for the half hour. Dow futures negative 152, S&P negative by 15, NASDAQ futures negative by 31. Jumping around to some of the stocks that we have next week coming out with their earnings. Google out with their earnings after the bell on Monday. Google trading at 1467, charged higher from about 1440 yesterday. You're also going to get Delta Airlines next week, looking to open 5660, a little bit lower than the 5710 close it had on yesterday, and we also get Disney earnings next week as well. Disney charging higher from 134.83, and even looking to open higher this morning with the market lower. Disney at 138.40. Checking in on Netflix, their competitor. Netflix looking to open a bit lower at 346.02, closed yesterday at 347.74. Staying with the market theme of what we have happening, Goldman out with some points this morning, expecting the coronavirus outbreak to weigh on U.S. economic growth this quarter. Goldman saying that late Thursday that they anticipate a 0.4 percentage point slowdown of U.S. annualized growth in the first quarter. Goldman's prediction comes as market participants try to assess the potential economic fallout of the coronavirus outbreak. China's envoy to the UN said Friday, as we covered, now more than 9,800 confirmed cases with 213 deaths. So they're looking for this will likely be followed by a subsequent rebound in the second quarter, boosting annualized growth by 0.3 to So overall, Goldman analysts said they would expect the virus to result only in a small net drag on U.S. full year 2020 growth of roughly 0.05 percentage points. Hopefully that's the case. Human life obviously valuable, and hopefully they get a handle on this. And 0.05, not a big deal in terms of the economy. Other news out there, got to cover it in terms of politics. A big vote today over in the Senate with whether they will allow witnesses. Going to come down to a few senators. We'll see what happens on that front, whether the impeachment trial persists or not. We will find out. They get a vote today on those witnesses. I appreciate you joining me, folks. Stay tuned. We got our man Larry Pensavento coming up with Trade What You See. And don't forget, we still got it up on the front page. Sign up for Fibonacci 24/7. Gain access to that webinar Larry did Wednesday night. Thanks so much, folks. Stay tuned. Larry Pensavento coming up right now.